Pauson. He'll help by recording the information for this, and he sort of manages the general oversight of the project, so he will help with any issues, just a sort of supervisory role really. That's the type of thing that he will do in the midst of his other work, because he works for the local government as a fisheries officer. So this is like a project on the side for him. Pauson is coordinating the work. Well, he sees his role as supplying the fish, and then Humphrey's the one coordinating sales. But we're just trying to decide how many fish we got. So that's the type of thing Pauson will do. Just speak to the owner of this farm, sort out the porters to come here, work on telling people what to do in terms of size, things like that. So that's what they're about to start doing now. Pauson is coordinating the work. Well, he sees his role as supplying the fish, and then Humphrey's the one coordinating sales. But we're just trying to decide how many fish we got. So that's the type of thing Pauson will do. Just speak to the owner of this farm, sort out the porters to come here, work on telling people what to do in terms of size, things like that. So that's what they're about to start doing now. Pauson will also deal with a lot of the staffing issues. So anytime staff needs a bit of help and a bit of training, maybe sort of explaining why we do things, he'll sort of step in and do that. So I think that's what he was doing with Sam. But he'll also he takes a lot of calls, but he'll also help with any issues the staff have. So one of our porters, his wife is not very well currently, so Pauson will be the one to deal with that, help sort out the hospital bills, transport, things like that, just to make sure everything's covered. Our series on Meet Our Staff, and well, this is Meet the Owners, I guess, really, because we just thought I'd get you a chance to talk to Pauson. You'd have seen so much of him already. It feels a bit strange introducing him now, but so Pauson, of course, is a fisheries officer, but he has been partnering with me on this project for, well, I guess we started in 2020 officially.
20, yes.
But we talked about this back in 2017 when we first met. So anyway, Pauson, maybe you can introduce yourself. And
I'm Pauson Joshua. I'm assistant fisheries officer, also a co-founder for RAD. Tim is my good partner and also a good friend. Yes, yeah.
And so, you're as a fisheries officer, what type of thing would you do to help farmers?
What we do generally extension work.
Mm-hmm.
One, helping farmers technically, selecting quality fingerlings for farmers,
Yeah.
helping them to construct the right ponds, which are durable, which are drainable, fertilization, all sorts of that are related to fish farming.
Maybe you could tell the audience why you wanted to start RAD with me. What was your motivation?
RAD, in fact, it was my dream before you came to Uganda. I constructed the structure
So the house here. Yeah.
and then I put a big room, a conference hall for training fish farmers.
Yeah.
Of course, there are so many challenges in the fish farming, and I started the aquaculture, so it became my dream. And I wanted to practically do it so that I may know the challenges fish farmers get.
Okay, I'm with you.
If you are a farmer, then you actually know the problems rather than getting theory from the fish farmers. Yeah,
that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess you can see clearly, Pauson was the right man to partner with, because we I again, independently of Pauson, I had this vision to do something like this, and Pauson was also having this idea, and then we sort of found each other, I guess, because when I came and did my PhD research in 2017, I think you were maybe one of the first, or certainly amongst the first people that I talked to, because you were a fisheries officer and I was doing my research in that sector. And I remember you telling me about your dream of doing a fish farm, and then getting some RAD history here, I guess. So then, if I just pan around, so just I think I've said before, but at the end here, if you slope right down past the polytunnel, there's some fields, there's water. I remember 2017, no money, not a chance of being able to fund anything, but we went down together and looked at the land and thought, oh, we should do a fish farm here. Do you remember?
Yes, I
doing that?
remember down there. Yes.
Yeah. And then, you know, I went and finished the PhD, got a job, and then eventually got the opportunity to actually fund this. And we've been working together ever since 20. So now it's sad because, of course, I'm not actually physically always around. But Pauson, well, he's always been the one that does the majority of the day-to-day. So maybe you could tell us about some of your day-to-day activities, Pauson, before RAD?
What we do for RAD, we do harvesting fish, we gut, we manufacture ice, and then ice the fish. We start the process of distribution. We have a woman, then we have also 2 men who take fish around.
Yeah.
And then we have motorcycles which deliver fish, fresh fish and deep fried fish.
And so what would your responsibility be for during that process? Like what type of thing would you do?
I coordinate supervision on top management.
Yeah.
But the director also get involved in the activity.
Yeah.
I do fishing, I do seining, I do gutting, I do icing.
Yeah.
Now you see the RAD is still developing. We don't have sufficient staff. Of course, and even the funds. So if you just become a supervisor or a manager, then you fail.
Yeah.
So I'm a co-founder, but still I get directly involved in the activities.
Yeah.
So if you found us on the farm, you may know that maybe I'm the boss or I'm the staff.
Yeah, it's true, because I mean, it's also one of our principles. I think I always think in an organization, if you're someone who's actually doing, if as a boss, you actually do whatever the activity is, you have a much better appreciation of what your staff are going through and what it's like. And we've always, that's the philosophy I think we expect from all our staff, and certainly it's the same for me and Pauson. We've always got our hands dirty doing things. But there's a lot of coordination that Pauson will get involved in. He keeps all the expenses, that runs through him currently, making sure that we're pressing ahead with our goals. And I guess that's mine and Pauson's role, is to ensure the objectives of RAD are being carried out, that we're planning ahead, that we're pushing the right things, because if you take your eye off the ball and stop looking at the farm, things can quickly go wrong. So Pauson makes sure that things don't go wrong, basically. A lot of troubleshooting, connecting. So yeah, anything else you want to say, Pauson?
Yeah, I'm pleased we are increasing the sales, and now I'm happy to report that in 1 week we feed close to 600 people, not families but people, because we sell over 500 fish. It means we feed 500 people fresh fish, fresh quality fish in fact. So it's an improvement. However, of course, the service we give is difficult to quantify.
You're right.
You see people health improving, but you can't be sure that this is a RAD. But you are doing a very great job. And initially in here, people didn't know fresh fish because of cold chain. So due to introduction of ice machine, I think most people now have learned that fresh fish is really good. Then thirdly, maybe our culture was not good at eating fish. They didn't like fish. They thought maybe the poor community, poor families eat fish. But now it has changed. Now rich people or the class, middle class, now always consider fish to be a very important meal. So,
well, thanks very much, Pauson. Thanks you, the viewer, for watching this, and hope you enjoy that. Turned into a small interview. We're talking together, right? But great, and catch you on the next one. Okay,
thank you so much. It has been my pleasure to have you.